YouTube, Blob here, bringing you another Total War replay. Empire Total War, not a bad game. I mean, when it first came out, I understand there were all kinds of problems with it. But, hey, if you wait a few years, you get it for cheap. God bless it. It's not terrible. And there's still an online community, which means I can still play online fights. And this is Third Native American Fight. So let's get into it. I can't figure out this Indian build. You know, leave a note or a comment if you want. If you play Native Americans and you have a particular army build, let me know. I'm not a big fan of the cannons. Fixed cannon situation, not my thing. So, you know, I'm more interested in the hand-to-hand aspects and stuff like that. So here it is. And it was an interesting map because we've got this tremendous patch of cover right in the center of the map. And everything else seems to be relatively clear. One of the things I was not a big fan of was that he has a couple of very nice high spots on his side of the map. You can see at least two, and this back here, and he's got a little bit of stuff. So, based on the build of my army, this entire patch of woods is what I want right here. My game plan was go ahead and occupy that best as I could, push the musketeers out to the edge as a fighting force and skirmishing with whoever's out in the open beyond, and see how my enemy deploys from there and use the woods as a staging base to go after them in one of the axes. Fast forward a little bit through deployment. See, I'm trying to figure it all out, but now here it is. I got the musketeers in a straight line. I got some cab out on the flank, and densely packed into three lines is the core of the army. General emphatic. Now if he goes wide, like really wide, I'm going to hit right in the center with everything I got, try to break it in half, and then improvise from there. If he packs himself into a narrow area, maybe we can spread out once we leave the woods and envelop the two flanks. I was able to talk to him a little bit, back and forth. He seemed like a pretty good guy. And let's take a look at his army. So, from what I can see, he's got 2 units of Uhlans, he's got line, all Austrian, and some chevroned up 6-pounders, general, more line. And you can see he hasn't gone wide. Now I know, and he knows exactly what's about to happen. He's going to occupy these heights. There's nothing to it. So I immediately begin maneuvering forward. I'm going to do exactly like I said. I'm going to occupy that tree line. Love graphics. They kind of slide till they get right up on you. Such is life, people. Yep. A little more of his army is revealed now. We can get a pretty good look at it. You see he's got extra infantry line. More Uhlans? Is that what that is? No, more artillery, more 6-pounders. Alright, and you can see he's rushed up to the heights. He double quick moved. He wants to get his whole army in position on this excellent ground. Oh, look at this, Jaegers. Specialized Jaegers. I didn't even notice this. Now, they don't actually have a good line of sight. I have to top this ridge. I don't know about that. Maybe you should push him way forward. There are walls here, too, he could be occupying. But all in all, he's done exactly what he wants, which is occupy the best ground available. And now he's sizing up his 6-pounders and start raining lead right down on our heads. Yeah. That's why we want this woods here. 6-pounders down here, starting to go after my musketeers, and my tribal gunners have gone way out here. we're actually going to go out here and we're going to try and post up, just look for opportunities. We're not going to rush anything with the mounted guys. You can see we've firmly entrenched ourselves in this woods with some musketmen on the flank. And now I'm sizing up his army. What the best approach would be. I'm going to let him fire away. Unfortunately, he's actually scoring some decent hits on my guys here. So I'm going to have to push him into the woods. Oh yeah, no, I mean, he gets his hits in with those 6-pounders. This is the late war setting. So the artillery's got all that specialized ammunition going on. For those of you who play Empire Total War, do you like to play the late war or the early war setting? See, I pushed my tribal gunners way out on the flank now. Again, I'm just sizing this situation up. I'd like to pull his line apart at some point. And here we go. I'm stepping out now. Now you might see me leading with the hand-to-hand guys, and that's just the way it is. I had the need to push his cavalry away, and you can see them begin to retire. And at the same time, I'm going to shift and try and shoot up these flanks. But you can tell my units down here are taking a beating. I mean, it's bad. Yeah, we're going to move in there. Let's get a look at this. Oh, yeah, canister right into the heart of him. And this is a good time to discuss my plan. And that was to target his artillery batteries almost 100% with the hand-to-hand. Go directly for the artillery batteries as best as possible. But I did end up miss-microing, as you can see here. This was just bad miss-micro. He's getting quality shots in on us now. Yep. We pushed his flank, and we're going to go ahead and come up the hill into his square. All the while catching that canister. You can see he's targeting my general, too. Austrians just fighting desperately in a square, but they'll be able to command that. But we made it to his 6-pounders. This was important. We need to silence those guns. We need to murder those gunners. You can see way out on his left, my right, we bent in his flank. Putting some fire away from the center. Trying to keep him busy. Now we've hand-to-hand this entire line. Musketeers working on the unengaged units. The square is now surrounded. And we've pushed his Uhlans away from the army and are just fighting him, you know, keeping him out there so we can work on this square. He's got the Jaegers back here shooting into it. Again, we're trying to shoot it up with him, but we're not really built for that on that flank. So instead, we just have to hand-to-hand these units. We finally break the 6-pounders and start rolling up either flank. See the square not doing well now. I think he's gone back to line, but they've lost almost half their number. And we're starting to shift the assault to the other half of his army, all the while keeping busy on that flank over there so he can't transfer troops. I wanted to engage the Jaegers so they'd stop shooting me. I was hoping they weren't built in hand-to-hand. Turns out they're not terrible. Jesus. Yep, so that's that. We're finally taking a chunk out of these guys over here. But you know how it is in hand-to-hand. It is bloody. Look at the musketmen getting good work done. Shooting these guys out of their line. Keeping them pinned here. We can take those volleys in skirmish. That's the truth. He threw in another unit here. Finally, the Uhlans were able to get in. They start taking chunks out of us, but we were able to intercept them for a moment with some units. And we finally broke the Austrians down here, which means now this map has to find a location to fight and quick. This madness continues. Warrior Society comes back into the fight, and we're finally able to send some cavalry in. And look who we found, the Jaegers. Look at them, boys. had a unit rally way out here, never noticed. Never brought him back, I don't think. You can see we finally ate his square, and now every Native American I can find is rallying to this point. This is the end, sort of the end tactic of the Native American army that I'm running. Because at that point, you've just got to throw everybody into wherever you can. As Jaegers managing to stay in the fight, throwing more fire in. And we're just throwing whatever units we can in. Anything we can muster. Except those guys back there that I don't ever notice. He has an engaged regiment, but honestly, not going to be unengaged for long. You can see my general died. That was a big problem. Because you can see what happens now. We got some chain routing going on. Managed to engage this regiment here, which is key, but it's too late. Should have pulled the general out and posted him up. I mean, all game long he was trying to kill my general, and I managed to do it for him at the very end. Good fight on behalf of my opponent. Austrians fought well. Again, we just took a huge chunk out of their army, though. I don't know if you guys have noticed in the last couple of games, but my opponents seem to form square against infantry attack and instead of cavalry attack. I don't know how you guys feel about that. My impression was it doesn't do well against infantry attack. And that the men usually end up getting trapped, frankly, when they're surrounded. It's like this. Jesus. As my army retreats in the background. What is this, musketmen? Yeah, look at that. I had like random units of musketmen I didn't micro back into the game. Should have done that. But yeah. You can see my opponent, Johnny Paul. So shout out to Johnny Paul, great game. I deployed almost a 2-to-1 margin. Actually, no, almost a 2-to-1 margin. Almost 1,000 men lost. Holy smokes. And not enough of his army to really call it a decent defeat. But this has been another Empire Total War replay, sort of talking about Native American army builds. 0 for 3 with the Native American army. Maybe not enough firepower. But this has been the Blob, and thanks for watching.